Hey everyone, Steve here from My Crypto World. Today we've got two news articles to go through. The first one is based on Ethereum and how the founder is saying that Ethereum will be 55% complete post-merge. And the second story, which is probably one of the biggest for a while, regarding Polygon and what's going on with Matic. All that right after this. Okay, guys, so our first article talks about Ethereum, and it's really what came out of a conference in Paris earlier this week from Vitalik Buterin, who is the founder of Ethereum. And it goes on to say, it's just really quoting what happened at the conference and what he had said, being that Ethereum will be only 55% complete. So it's got a lot more work to be done to it, which means you would think that even where things are at the moment, it's certainly value for money. But it highlights that it might be a good time to invest in the coin because it's got a long way to go. Anyway, without reading the entire article, it does go on to say that Ethereum is in a long and complicated transition phase, according to its creator, Vitalik. Speaking to a packed main room at the ETHCC conference in Paris on Thursday, Buterin discussed how Ethereum is undergoing several significant changes that will ultimately improve the system in the long term. Buterin broke down Ethereum's forthcoming stages into 4 phases that he discussed on the Bankless earlier this year. We didn't cover that story. It was well covered in the media, so I didn't sort of cover that one, but I will talk about it now. Those 4 blocks or sectors that he's talking about are the merge, the surge, the verge, and the purge. The merge refers to the network's transition of proof of stake, which is expected to ship sometime around September 19. The surge refers to the addition of 64 shard chains, which are expected to reduce the congestion on the main chain by distributing traffic. That's really good. The verge pertains to the addition of the stateless clients aimed at making the network more decentralized, and the purge involves removing historical data in a bid to streamline the network. I don't know if any of you have had experience in dealing with Ethereum as a payment system. You can get it done really quickly. I've had other transactions that have taken longer than 20 minutes to get through. So I smiled when it said the surge refers to 64 shard chains, which are expected to reduce the congestion on the main chain by distributing traffic. There's no doubt about it that Ethereum is a great project. It's got a solid future ahead of it, but there are some serious complications going on at the moment, and that has been the case for the last 2 years. So this should hopefully solve that. In reference to the proof of stake upgrade, otherwise known as EIP 3675, Buterin said that the Ethereum would be roughly 55% complete following the merge. Another major protocol upgrade Buterin highlighted was the EIP 4444, a proposal focused on storing historical data in execution clients. Because people value scalability, you can't rely on nodes to store everything, and that is so true. For those the most famous nodes at the moment running around in the crypto space is probably the theta nodes. I have a theta node that runs on the computer. Occasionally, you'll hear it kick in while I'm doing a podcast or something. And I'd have to agree with that. You don't want a node that's storing data. I would run out of room on my PC. As big as the hard drive is, it would be chock-a-block within a matter of weeks if I had to store stuff on the node. You really want the node to process and send back out to the blockchain. So that's what you want it to do. That's what you would prefer it to do anyway. Once the changes are implemented, the Ethereum would potentially be able to process 100,000 transactions per second, rather than the 15 or so it handles today, which is why you have such a congestion on the network. It's just so slow, and I've got to say, so bloody expensive as well. While layer 2 rollups could become 3 times cheaper as the network becomes more scalable. Buterin said that the network would have to optimize for safety and predictability, and referred to what he called the escape velocity thesis. arguing that the Ethereum of the future may become sufficiently developed that it doesn't require any major overhauls. It's similar to Turing completeness. If you have a computer that's powerful enough, you can build almost anything on it. So that's a very positive news article regarding Ethereum. Remember, we are so early in this crypto space, and nobody's ever said that where things are at right now is where they're going to be in the future. Every solid blockchain cryptocurrency project out in the market is always looking for scalability, security solutions, and adoptability. And this sort of article has highlighted that with Ethereum. I think Ethereum's got a strong future ahead of it. It just needs to sort of unroll or unravel what it's done at the moment to try and streamline things. And again, from a consumer point of view, we need to see the Ethereum gas fees far cheaper. It's just so expensive to buy or purchase using Ethereum. And it also takes a bloody long time for the transaction to process. I've had one or two that have been done in a couple of seconds. The majority of Ethereum purchases that I've made, which usually are relating for me personally on NFTs that I might be buying in the market, has just taken forever. And as a consumer, you're left sitting there. I remember when I did I purchased an NFT on OpenSea, and I pushed the purchase button, and I was sitting there waiting for 20 minutes for the transaction to come through. So as a consumer, what you do is you start second guessing yourself. You're going, did I actually click that transaction, or did I not push the mouse button properly, or did I enter my MetaMask wallet incorrectly? And the last thing you want to do is go out and try and purchase it again, because you're just going to create havoc. So you're left wondering, really. So that's a really good article. Now, the next article kind of relates to Ethereum as well, and it's one of the big stories that's come out this week regarding Polygon. So first of all, Ryan White is obviously from Polygon. And he just goes on to say on Twitter, we already know that Polygon as a powerhouse that leads far and away in partnerships. With the ZKEVM launch, we can now scale with security, be carbon neutral, and handle the TPS of the future. The future of the internet will be built on Polygon with this feature. It's that simple. Now, when I read that tweet, I thought, that's really cool, but what the hell is ZKEVM? Because I have not heard of that before. So anyway, you got to do your own research, but what was really good is this article came out to explain everything on Blockworks shortly after. So let's talk about this and see where things are at. Let's have a look here. So his tweet means that developers can easily deploy applications written on Solidity, Ethereum smart contract language, and take advantage of the ecosystem's robust developer tools, just as they do on the Ethereum mainnet. So, I mean, that's okay, but it doesn't excite me a great deal. Now, ZK equals zero knowledge rollups combined with many layer 2 transactions into one, which settle on Ethereum as validity proof, while computationally intensive zero-knowledge rollups are much faster and more scalable. It makes Ethereum almost technically or theoretically infinitely scalable. So again, if you would take the article we just spoke about where Ethereum is going, smart contracts like this and smart DeFi developers could really enhance blockchain's ecosystem dramatically. He added, the CEO added that in adding contrast to other solutions, only Ethereum itself is needed. It has network effects, it has developers, and it has users, so you know we can take Web3 to the next stage of growth. A closed testnet of Polygon's ZK zero knowledge EVM should be available within the next 2 weeks, with a public permissionless testnet to follow a few weeks later. Polygon co-founder Maheyo Balik, I hope I haven't butchered that name there, told Blockworks. The product is expected to reach the Ethereum mainnet by the end of the year. Major Web3 applications such as Uniswap are already planning to deploy on the ZK EVM. A future configuration of off-chain data availability will enable to reduce the fees further, and that is it, bingo. That's exactly what we were talking about in the previous article. It ties in beautifully to what is happening with Ethereum at the moment, and it just goes to show you there are other avenues where Ethereum may become more scalable, a lot more cheaper, as long as it's still secure. The article goes on to say that everyone is really looking for lower transaction fees. If the security can be maintained, you will see every roll-up, at least in my opinion, will have a roll-up version of and a Palladium version as well. A team at Polygon is working on a way to migrate the entire proof-of-stake chain into a future version of the ZK EVM in a way which would not require DApp developers or users to take any action. But such a solution is still about a year away. Who cares? The fact that the project's already in play at the moment and they're developing it is pretty exciting, I've got to say. I can't wait to see where we are in a year's time with this development that's going to unroll slowly over the next, say, 12 months. Even if it took 18 months, it doesn't matter. It's still an incredible story, and it may make the Ethereum story we spoke about as well. It sort of enhances what Vitalik is saying there in his Paris conference. Well, that's all the news articles for this week. I hope you've had a great week. If you've enjoyed what I do and you like the articles I'm reading off to you, please like and subscribe. We'll be back in about 2 or 3 days' time with a full market review, as we normally do on a Saturday morning. Until then, take care of yourself and each other, and we'll chat soon. Cheers.